Now, Dave Gibbons did not draw 2 million people to the letter, but he certainly made it seem that way. And these are characters, I mean, and like, it's hard to look at. Like, there's a couple who have been holding hands just face down in the gutter. There's like a guy coming out of a Chinese food place with his takeout just laid out. A mother over her baby carriage, the little hand is kind of out with the rattle. Characters we have been with since page 1, panel 1, were caught in that blast. And it's not hinted that they got caught. No, they're looking right at you with dead eyes, just caught in that super blast. And the reaction that it elicits in you is just, I'm gonna drink all the beer because you have got to kick him in the face! Kill him! But as he sees this, like news reports on one of those like big like TV screen walls, which I need, by the way, it's on my Amazon wish list. Like news reports start flooding in, like ancient, like alien threat from another world kills 2 million, humanitarian crisis, millions dead, countries stopping threats against, stopping hostilities against each other to deal with new off-world threat. Treaties being drawn up to deal with humanitarian crisis, etc., etc. And Ozymandias raises his arms up into the sky and starts crying. He says, I did it. I saved us. And that's not even the end of the story. We are reminded, however, of those 2 million dead. Just people just walking down the street, hand in hand, walking their baby, getting takeout. Just wiped out. Just like that. Such a good book. Such a noble goal. But those methods are just chilling. Very villainous, but very heroic goal. The other type of unique villain are the ones who are evil because we're evil, He-Man. I love those villains. I really do. They're a lot of fun, but they don't work in a lot of the big gray area stories where, like, we don't know who's really good or evil. Like, no, these villains work when it is a good versus evil story. Now, those stories are simple, but they're not stupid. Simple and stupid do not go hand in hand. Like the original Star Wars trilogy was the good guy rebels versus the bad guy Empire. There was no like faction of the rebels who wanted to like do anything kind of iffy. There were no like Imperial officers with sort of hearts of gold. No, Empire bad, rebels good. Good versus evil, classic, simple. And the villain of that worked so well because it was the Emperor who was just evil. And he loved being evil. There was no motivation of like, I'm taking over the Empire to save my wronged family, or like I'm doing this because I was wronged somehow in the past. Great injustice. No, this guy wanted power. This guy wanted control, and he loved saying evil things. Like, he almost enjoyed it a little too much. Like, it looked like he needed a new pair of robes every time he said things like, I can feel your hatred. Release your anger. You're like really enjoying this, but fuck, that's gross. But he loved just like, his teeth were all like jagged, and he just liked torturing kids with like lightning from his fingers and face. That villain works fantastically. They really do, and revel in that. But again, it only really works when it's good versus evil. Don't put He-Man into Watchmen. Not gonna work. Alternately, don't put Ozymandias into He-Man or G.I. Joe or any of the like, I do it because I'm evil. They don't work. Another motivation, and I hate to dip into this, so I'll skim quickly. Another great villainous motivation is religion. Now, I'm not saying your religion. I'm not going to turn this into that kind of panel. But there have been examples of this in, history and the news. And it works in both stories, like especially in the good versus evil story. Because we love killing cultists. Cultists are like guards, man. They're just cannon fodder. It's easy to do that. What do you worship? I worship the god of slaughtering babies. Oh, that's an evil cult. We gotta get rid of them. It's okay. They're all evil. Yeah. How about you? I worship the god of poisoning kittens. Oh shit, that's terrible. Excellent. How about you? I will kill you in the name of the god of peace. How does that even look? Somebody once said, if left to their own devices, good people will do good things. Bad people will do bad things. But if you want a good person to do bad things, you need religion. I was like, oh, that's harsh. And kind of right. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. Anyway, speaking back on the big invincible heroes and like the invincible. Okay, does anyone else really like the invincible god villain? Is anybody else really surprised when the villain is marching toward the army with his cape or trench coat billowing and his hair is kind of out here? He's got that head down but eyes forward look and that grin that kind of comes out to here.
Loki.
And is anybody really surprised when like the bad guys or the good guys are like charging up some super fireball or some like giant cannon and it fires? Giant explosion, the landscape is changed, the army is like cheering, yay, we got him! Nothing could have survived that blast. It's the middle of the story, but he's clearly dead, yeah! Is anybody really surprised when that villain strolls out of the blast, head down, eyes forward, smirking, hair and cape unburnt? Is anybody really like, I never saw that. Is anybody really surprised by that shit anymore? I'm done when I see them marching toward the army. I'm done. I'm like, I get it. Can we just get to it? I want to see that guy stumble out on that explosion, hairless, burned, and naked. Just like, what the fuck is wrong with you maniacs? I'm one guy. I used to live in this country. It's now a crater. This armor isn't protective. It's just shiny. Ah, you maniacs. I like the vulnerable but victorious villains. I like the villains that you can like punch in the arm and they don't go, They go, fuck, ow, dude. I have
puny god.
I had thanks. You're dead. Fuck. And you combine that with intellectual victory and you have gutted your heroes alive. The best example of this I have ever seen, ever in my life. Was Kaiser Soze from The Usual Suspects. If you haven't seen The Usual Suspects, what the fuck is wrong with you? So good. It's a crime movie. Brilliant. And the villain, his name is Kaiser Soze. First of all, that is a sexy fucking name by itself. I have to question things about myself. Kaiser Soze, like, oh my goodness, Kaiser. Do bad things to me. So, Kaiser Soze is built up to be this, like, this super badass crime lord. Like the muttering of his name is like frightening. Like, oh, Kaiser Soze. Oh my god. He like murdered his whole family in front of other crime lords to show them that they have nothing over him. Grown men pull their own heads off rather than talk to Kaiser Soze. Buildings set themselves on fire rather than be walked in by Kaiser Soze.
Chuck Norris
That's the level
villains.
of like, badassery that Kaiser Soze is built up to, right? So at some point in the movie, the cops get it. When they bring him to the police station, he escapes. Now again, how would he get out? You have all the beer in the house. Now he crack the lead detective's neck and take his gun, take out 5 cops, grab the M16 machine gun from under the desk, blow away the station. It's on fire, cops are running around. We don't know how to deal with guns. So building blows up. Kaiser Soze walks out, hair and trench coat, unscathed. That's not what happens. Much like the psychologist from the Foundation trilogy, Kaiser Soze just talks to the lead detective. And man, does he start talking. And they let him leave. Out the front door. With all of his stuff. And they think they beat him. That guy wasn't so tough. What a wuss. So anyway, you want to get some coffee later? Maybe so. But just like that, he's gone. Oh, Kaiser Soze.